Some of our best Muslim allies in the Gulf think the Islamist indoctrination in certain parts of the West is too dangerous. I mean, literally, you couldn't make it up. Let's get the thoughts now of the Director of Foreign Policy at the Pickthall House, Faiz Ahmed. Faiz, are you there with me? Good morning, thanks for your company. What do you make of this clown show? And it is a clown show, I'm afraid to say.
Well, I think J.D. Vance's tweet is a classic example of an American observer with absolutely no context of British politics saying something spectacularly naive. I think in order to really understand...
It was the UAE, Faiz, who said it, not Vance.
Well, no. Well, Vance's reaction is incredibly naive, and I think we need to study why the UAE is interested in countering violent extremism in the UK. It's been an issue that they've been trying to forward since 2014, in which John Jenkins was lobbied to carry out a review. And the conclusion of that review was that there are issues with the Muslim Brotherhood, but it does not justify proscription or banning of the organisation because they don't pose a violent threat in Britain. As you mentioned quite correctly, we do have almost 40,000 Islamists on our terror watch list. So we have genuine issues that we need to address. What we don't need to be doing is taking advice on countering violent extremism from an autocratic, despotic regime that itself has ties to violent movements such as the RSF in Sudan or the Wagner Group, which is a proscribed organisation in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, so I'm slightly lost in what you're saying. So you're focusing particularly on the Muslim Brotherhood, which the UAE has said they've cited as a concern in the UK, right? But can we talk more broadly about just Islamism? I mean, the UAE, I think they've got you could argue, yes, they've got Sharia law and they've got very strict rules on certain things, holding hands, kissing in public, maybe being gay as well. But the facts of the matter is, when was the last Islamist terror attack in the UAE? I mean, do you agree that they are handling their extremism problem better than the West, than the UK?
Well, the UAE can't really have a political violence problem because the UAE doesn't permit any form of political dissent. And I think that's the key feature of what's going on here. We shouldn't be allowing narratives that are pertinent to the UAE to be entering the British discourse on how we keep our country safe. The UAE has a vested interest in particular about suppressing all forms of political Islam in order to preserve their own monarchies. That's what's really going on here.
I mean, what's wrong with that, though? What's wrong with preserving your country and your nation and your culture and your high trust rate society and your low crime levels and the high net worth people who come to it? What's wrong with that?
No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. They can run their country as they see fit. What I think is a problem is the idea that we are regularly lobbied by the UAE to start implementing policies that are beneficial to their countries, but not necessarily beneficial to our own country. The UAE has enormous influence in Whitehall. We have extensive lobbying. We know that the UAE owns tons and tons of British assets. So, and they do this to exert influence over our government so that we can further their own interests within their region.
Okay, just finally, Faiz, do you think we've got a problem with Islamism in the UK?
I think it's clear from the sheer numbers that you have on the on the MI5 watch list that we do have an issue with Islamism. What I would say is that the solution to this problem is not heavy-handed state overreach in policing Muslim communities. What we need to do is we need to be much better at integration and social cohesion policy making. And I think there have been massive mistakes made by both the left and the right. So the left have been far too conciliatory in accepting every grievance that Muslim communities present towards them as gospel. And then the right have massively expanded the Prevent program, which has basically almost been a self-fulfilling prophecy that you have these Islamist voices who say that the British government hates Islam, it wants to crack down on Muslims. Then the government goes ahead and does exactly those things, effectively vindicating the Islamist line. So there have been major mistakes, and part of the reason that Pickthall House exists as an organisation is to try and come up with a better approach to policy making in respect of that.
Okay, Faiz, thanks for your time. Appreciate your company.